We were enjoying being empty nesters. Then we were blessed with having our grandchildren again in our home.
What grades are you in?
Third. I'm in first.
You're in first grade?
Mm-hmm. I'm third. I like the music room. It's full of music. I like to read in school.
Yeah.
I like to do computers. I like to do art in school. I like gym.
We don't live that close to Westminster. It's about a 30-minute drive. It would probably be the least convenient of the places that we considered. We looked at several alternatives, but something about it struck us when we came here. The staff seemed friendly, and we were impressed with the resource department at Westminster. And being able to go from kindergarten all the way through high school to us was a very appealing thing.
A doctor. Help me look it better. I want to be a YouTuber.
It's a very broken world out there, and public schools surely have their challenges, as we found out. We feel that with the Lord in their life, if they can lean into Him in their difficult times, that they have a better chance of being okay in the world.
What's your favorite book?
The Bible.
What's your favorite Bible story?
Joshua. Joseph.
You like Joseph?
Yes.
That's a long story.
I know.
Yeah. He does a lot of things.
I could give you 10 reasons. I can give you a lot of reasons.
It is comforting to know our grandchildren are being well taken care of at school.
Yeah, I think the partnership we have experienced in the 3.5 years that we've been here has really been outstanding. All of the staff has been great to work with. I love the way they have boundaries, but deal with the enforcement of the boundaries in a grace-filled way.
And we felt that was very important, that they got the extra attention, direction from the staff and teachers here. It just was kind of a warm feeling to know that we were going to be having them go to school someplace that's what's happening here.
Having a Christian education, a biblically based education, especially in the formative years of grade school and the homeschooling that we did, and then in high school, I think really important to give them a foundation for which to go out into the world.
We wanted definitely academic challenge and opportunities for them to use their gifts, for them to try things out, and Westminster provided that.
I love being around people. I really enjoyed being able to make friends and then see them every day, because when you're homeschooled, you plan times to meet with people, but it's not all the time. And then I also really liked having other teachers as well, because they could really build into different parts of my education that I didn't have before.
I immediately felt like Westminster was like my home. Actually, we had a meet your class day for 8th graders over the summer right before school started. I remember meeting all these kids. I was like, oh, I guess this is my class then. And then it was 9 of us guys hanging out most of that day, and the same 9 guys have stuck with me from 8th grade all the way to senior year of high school. It didn't take time at Westminster, it didn't take struggle to make these friends, and just the environment that they created to meet people and include people really benefited me when I transitioned over. So I got involved with basketball my freshman year. There's a fun group of us freshmen who went out to play that year, and we're all still playing right now. And now, we're the varsity team, and you can come full circle, and that's been really cool, and that's just been an awesome experience. So that's been a huge part of my community here, has been the basketball team.
I go to Vanderbilt University, and it was my dream school from the beginning. I stepped on campus because of Westminster and the opportunities that I had to lead, a National Honor Society, and then be captain of different sports and all that stuff. All the compilation of different activities, I think, was what helped me be able to get into my favorite school. So
I think too, from a cultural perspective right now, it's just There's so much bombard, there's so much input coming into our kids, and the goal's not to necessarily stop that. That's just a natural part of our world, but to feel like there's a balance of some of those inputs coming in, and that their schooling, which is a significant chunk of their time, would provide good inputs for their heart and for their mind, I think was important.
Here, there's a big emphasis on foundation and theology and kind of understanding the background behind Christianity. And now that I'm in school, I really recognize that like people aren't going to want to take you seriously talking about your faith if you don't know the why behind all of those things.
I call myself a Christian, growing up. You write down on a piece of paper when you're 4 years old in Sunday school, and then you call yourself a Christian. But I kind of had like a revitalization of my faith when I was a freshman. I was at a camp for my church, and they started talking about how this faith isn't your parents' faith. It's not like your neighbor's faith, like it's your faith. So then that's when I kind of made the switch that this is going to be my faith and my relationship with God. So then going back to Westminster, it changed my view on like the Bible courses we're taking. All of a sudden it's personal. It's like this class has a little more value in it than some of just the purely academic classes, because it like deals with your eternity, not just your academia. That shift is really interesting, because then Westminster was kind of right there alongside me to show me scripture and to show me how the Bible deals with really tough issues and just really how to follow Jesus the best you can, and how scripture tells us to do that. So just Westminster being like right alongside me during that process was really, really helpful.
There's just this sense of being a well-rounded, wholly adjusted adult that is really important to us. And I think this has been a great family experience to help form that, to give them academic rigor, to give them opportunities, to have tons of fun playing sports and see teamwork in action. And Westminster has been a very good place to help partner with us in shaping and forming that worldview for our kids.
So it was a difficult transition, coming from a small rural school. We weren't in our house yet, and Micah especially in high school. But Westminster, especially the teachers, really stepped in, tried to help in every way they could.
First couple months was like really hard. A lot of the teachers would always ask me like how I was doing. It was really cool. I had one teacher, she always asked for prayer requests at the beginning of class, and we would pray about like me moving and stuff. I just thought that was cool because I came from a public school and we didn't really pray in class. So it was nice that she wanted to pray for me, and she would always ask me after class how I was doing. I always think of Mrs. Scholl, the science teacher, like right away I kind of just felt at home in her classroom because she was one that I could talk to about anything right away. I could tell her that I was having a hard time, and at that point of life to be able to tell a teacher that was just like really nice.
Yeah, I would just ask her, just be there to talk to her about things that she was going through. I felt that her and I just started developing this relationship together, that we could just talk about life, and just things that were happening. And once she got outside that uncertainty, she just started embracing everyone around her, and she wanted to be involved in everything. She embraced the school, she embraced the students.
With Micah, I knew she had a heart to serve. I knew she had a heart for outreach. I knew she enjoyed playing volleyball and basketball, and at that point in time I was the basketball coach, and I still am.
That was another thing I told my parents why I didn't want to move. I was like, but my basketball team's going to be good this year. Like, I'm going to be starting. I'm going to probably be a captain. That was a really big deal. I was mad about that. But then the basketball team actually last year was one of my favorite things because it was such a good group of girls. Coach Versalis was really fun. The games were always fun. So that was like a really good part of last year.
But I like the fact that they do have outreaches, like community outreach. She feeds the homeless once a month.
She participates in a after-school club at a local public school called Crossroads. That was exciting for me that she would have that kind of a ministry.
I'm in Future Teachers Club. 2 days out of the year, I get to go into an elementary class and like student teach. And then I do Crossroads, and that's another thing where I have like a Bible Kids Club and just witness to kids. Community outreach is where we go once a month and we feed the homeless, like we provide a breakfast for them, and then we get to just talk to them. We can try to spread the gospel if we can. I just get to talk to people of all different lifestyles, and I get to learn something new every time I go. Coolest thing ever.
We wanted to have a good foundation academically, but even more so spiritually, where she's being taught biblical doctrine, she's taught how to defend her faith. Those are some of the biggest things that I've appreciated about the school.
I think if I would have stayed in the public school, like I look back in the path that I was going down, I think I would have really started struggling with my faith. Here, I think I've grown and I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about the Bible, where I think I can go into any situation now and be strong in my faith and not have to worry about myself stumbling or anything.
Our students encounter God every day at Westminster, through a teacher or a thoughtful lesson, in their relationships and worship. Both as an educator and as a parent of 3 sons who went to Christian school, this thought still humbles me. It's just an incredible thing to know that our children have this kind of opportunity. Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." Well, this is our prayer and vision for every one of our students, that as they leave Westminster fully prepared, they will follow the straight path, and in doing so, make a difference in the world for Jesus Christ.